funny because Pam, you said that you gave everybody 8 tickets.
Yep.
I came to my office this morning and I saw a stack of like 30 on my desk.
That's special for you, Dale.
All right, well, I bet you I can get rid of 30 before next Sunday.
I bet you can too.
All right. Well, for more than 40 years, almost 50 years, people have been asking the questions that the band The Beatles set to music. And today we're going to begin a journey together looking at what God has to say about the important issues that the Beatles raised in their music. And it's going to be a great journey together. And we're glad that you're here to be part of it with us. I want to talk to you this morning about change. Just trying to get some light here. There we go. Imagine for a moment that you had unlimited resources and unlimited power. Is there anything in the world that you'd want to change? Imagine that. Anything in the world that you'd want to change if you had unlimited resources and unlimited power. Raise your hand if there's something that you change in the world if you could do that. I expect to see 100% of the hands, and I think I do, which is good. It's true, isn't it? There are many things in the world that we'd want to change if we could. If we had unlimited power and unlimited resources. For instance, 2 years ago, the wife of one of my best friends was diagnosed with breast cancer. And she had to endure months of chemotherapy in which she lost her hair. There's a picture of her on the right. And she had to have a mastectomy. And later there was talk of doing a second. And I remember how relieved she was to hear that a second mastectomy wouldn't be needed at this time. At this time. Those are dreadful words that all cancer survivors have to hear. At this time, all's clear, but I need to see you again in 2, 3, 4, 6 months, a year. At this time, we didn't get it all, so we have to go back in. At this time. And once you've survived a bout with cancer, you look at time, you look at all of life really, but you look at time in a completely different way, a whole new way. You now live with the awareness that at any time, any moment, any particular second of the day, everything can change. Now, of course, you philosophical types will acknowledge that that's true for every one of us, but the reality is most of us don't have to live with the suffocating weight of that awareness until we're well advanced in age. But it's not the same for cancer survivors. And so if I had unlimited power and unlimited resources, I'd put an end to cancer. That's one thing that I would change and choose to change that. And then there's the ever-present threat of terrorism. Just as counter-terrorism professionals tighten up security in one way, those who would seek to intimidate and create fear find another way to do it. Again, just last month, it was confirmed that terrorists placed bombs in parcels that were transported or to be transported all around the world to different locations using FedEx and UPS airplanes. Now, thankfully, that plot was uncovered before loss of life. But if I could, but we all know that could have been much different, as you can see from the picture. And if I could, I'd put an end to terrorism. Terrorism is a terrible thing. And it's certainly something that I would change if I could. And then there's something, though, that I think is far worse or more terrible than terrorism, and that's death by starvation. On September 11, 2001, some 3,000 people lost their lives due to terrorism. But each and every day, more than 10 times that amount lose their lives due to starvation. 10 times that amount. And 85% of those people are children. 85%. Now, if that comparison with 9/11 doesn't kind of just put into perspective how pervasive death by starvation is, then consider this. The number of children who die each week due to death by starvation is equivalent to the number of people who perished in the 2004 Asian tsunami that was just also devastating. Every week. If I could, I would eradicate death by starvation. And that's something I definitely want to change. So there are 3 of the things that would top my list. Cancer, terrorism, and death by starvation. But how about you? What would you change If you had unlimited power and unlimited resources, if it was yours to control, what would you change? Just take a moment now and turn to somebody next to you and share one or two of the top things on your list, and then just let them give an opportunity to share theirs to you. Go ahead.